First of all, I would like to say that our hearts go out to those that lost their lives.
Sure.
Over in California in Monterey Park during Lunar New Year, and those that lost their lives shortly afterwards, a couple of days after. We're going to go over a Biden speech that was given shortly after those shootings, and me and Louise were both Second Amendment advocates, and we're going to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, I wasn't aware he gave a speech about it. Let's see what he says.
Let's do it.
California. They've been a rough couple days. I just got back from spending time with Gavin Newsom on the floods and the devastation that occurred, and then on top of that, we see what's happened in California and what's happened to the Asian American community. It's been devastating. The Vice President's going to be going out. I've been talking with Gavin Newsom and Judy Chu and Anna Eshoo and Hilda Solis, and we're working out a number of things that we can and are going to be doing. So the bottom line here is that we got a lot to talk about. And yesterday, my buddy Dianne Feinstein introduced her Senate assault weapons ban. I am asking you all to send that to my desk as quickly as you can.
Okay, so we have Biden calling for an assault weapons ban.
Zelho creator.
Shortly following the incidents that happened
Finally, our
this
hearts-
past weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, your thoughts?
Okay. I've said this for the past couple of years, right? I think it's only natural for a reaction like this after like a tragedy, right? Because Democrats make fun of Republicans because every time there's a shooting, Republicans start talking about thoughts and prayers, and Democrats make fun of that, right? Because it's like, hey, what are your thoughts and prayers? They don't do anything, right? We need to take action. So I think it's only natural for them to want to do something to prevent this problem from happening again, right? I'm not one of those people that just kind of calls somebody else's reaction stupid, whatever, and just dismiss it. I understand where they come from, right? I understand that it comes from a place of, hey, this bad thing happened. We must do something to prevent it from happening again. And a lot of the times, the reaction has to deal with banning firearms, banning a certain kind of firearm, and doing things like that. The problem is that there's so many people that are talking about banning these things that are uneducated on these things, right? And I don't mean uneducated. Like, you don't have to be a weapons expert. You don't have to be a gunsmith. You don't have to be any of that, right? But just like basic fundamentals. If you understand how weapons work, if you understand like the very basics of of how they function, you will laugh at a lot of things that you see online. I just saw a picture the other day. It was from Vice News, right? Where they were reporting on some shooting. And there was a picture of a bullet going through. There was like a bullet hole somewhere. And it's like spread, or it spread the thing. And the photographer, the Vice reporter, whoever it was that took the photo, they literally put a 5.56 round in it with a casing and everything, with the brass casing and everything. It wasn't like, if you know about guns, you know the brass casing pops out of the gun, and just the round, just the tip of the freaking cartridge shoots out. But they put the whole thing on there. I don't know. Maybe I'll find it and I'll show it to you guys. But it's like you're making an article and you're gonna talk crap about guns and you're gonna say how guns shouldn't be around and blah 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 blah. But you're uneducated on them. You're pushing for action to be taken on something, and you know nothing about how even this thing works, right? And some people may say, "Well, I may not know how it works. I just know it kills people." Like, you got to dig deeper into it, right? Especially when you're talking about something that was ingrained in the founding of the country, right? Like, I've been in other countries. I have not had guns in other countries. And I will respect the laws of those countries because, hey, maybe this country wasn't founded with a Second Amendment in mind. However, my country was founded with the Second Amendment in mind. Therefore, I think we need to stick to our foundational beliefs. Our foundational beliefs are what got us to where we are. That's what got us to where we are. And all of a sudden, we're the world's largest superpower. We want to take it in another direction. Like, hey, maybe that's not the smartest move. It's kind of, it's kind of like when other podcasts that deal with other things, they talk about, look, men have these roles, women have these roles. That's what's gotten us to where we are now. But now we want to change all of that, right? And it's like, well, is the reason why we're here today is because we had these values. We had this idea of how our country is supposed to work. Now we want to change it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. It pisses me off when they start using these certain terms because they talk about ban assault weapons, and then you disprove. You show that assault weapons is a stupid term to use, and then they're like, well, assault style weapons, assault looking weapons, assault this, and they start coming up with all kinds of terminology that they can't actually like define when you push them. So to me, it's kind of stupid, and I freaking called it, bro. Okay, look, we were in the car the other day, right? Ben told me there's a shooting in California. I said, watch it be a gun with a pistol brace. The ATF just came out. They said, we're changing our mind. All you AR-15 pistol owners who have a pistol brace on an AR-15 pistol, we changed our mind. It's not a pistol no more. That's a rifle. That's a short barrel rifle. You all are being felons right now. You're committing felonies. You need to go register that. We'll be nice out of the kindness of our hearts because we told you it was okay before. We won't charge you the $200, which apparently that might be illegal, and you might still have to pay the $200, right? I don't know why. I was watching a YouTube video. The guy, I think he was a lawyer. He was giving an explanation of the rules behind this and whether or not you may be affected or whatever. But he said there's some gray area there. They may or may not be able to actually do that. They might actually end up charging you. They may not have the authority to waive the $200 fee, right? Because I mean, the ATF, it's under the executive branch, right? But if Congress did the whole NFA thing, the ATF might not be able to waive that, right? Because checks and balances and all that shit. So, anyways, so Ben tells me they're shooting. I'm like, watch it be with a pistol brace. I'm watching a video the other day. The sheriff of the county said it was an assault pistol. He said it was an assault pistol. When he said, and I haven't seen a picture of the gun. They haven't said what gun it was. They haven't shown a picture of it. They haven't described it. All they said was assault pistol. When they said assault pistol, I was like, we just had an assault. Like, we just had a freaking ATF ban on pistol braces, and now there's a shooting with an assault pistol. Right now, some people are saying,
but the thing about it is I promise you, like, if they would have, it could have been a Glock 19, right?
That's what people are saying, right? That's what people are saying, and that's what I honestly think is probably more the case, because people are saying they're trying to use it to push the magazine capacity ban, right? So they're like, he probably had like a pistol that had a magazine that has more than 10 rounds, and therefore they're calling it an assault pistol, right? And honestly, that seems more probable to me, which, you know, it's funny that I just grabbed this. I got a Glock 19 on my chain with the Extendo 33, what did that guy said? The 30 caliber clip. The freaking the congressman or whoever he was. Nah. I got the Extendo 33 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Because we love freedom over here. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's more probable that they're pushing like an extended capacity magazine ban, and you know, I don't want to say that I don't want to say that these shootings are premeditated by anybody, you know, in the government, because that would just be crazy. But I will say that the timing of these things is I mean, forget the timing. The fact that these things happen are unfortunate, right? And nobody wishes that these things would happen more often at all, right? Like, we don't want these things to happen. But in California, they just have so many gun laws, like, and these things keep happening, and it seems like we need to do something else.
If gun laws worked, why is there so many shootings over there?
Well, you know, shootings will happen anywhere, right?
Exactly.
Shootings will happen anywhere, whether there's gun laws or there's not gun laws. What I'm interested in is if like these gun laws, the only people that care about gun laws are the people that are following the gun laws, right? And so if you're restricting law-abiding citizens, you're not restricting like the criminals, because they don't care what bill you sign, what paper you push. Like, they don't care about that. They'll go to Nevada to buy it. They'll go to Oregon to buy it. They'll ship it in from Texas. They'll UPS it from Florida. Who cares? Like, they'll get it one way or another. You know what I mean? And what's interesting to me is, if you keep making gun laws and it keeps not working, why do you think more gun laws is your solution? It's just stupid. It's really stupid. And it's very complicated, because me personally, like, I have gone through the process of getting a concealed weapons permit in the state of Texas. It's called a license to carry, because it's more than just concealing, right? You need a license to open carry.
But I thought that Texas...
Well, they changed it, right? Now you don't need a license anymore, right? But if you already have one, you can still... They still have it. Because in some places, like if you go to a college campus, you can't carry there unless you have a license.
Okay.
So in certain situations, you still need a license for some things, right?
Okay.
So I went through the process. I got the license. I did this and that. And then one day I was going to go on a road trip. And I had to go look up on a map which, like, I had to go through all the states that I'm going to drive through and figure out which ones had reciprocity with my license from Texas and which ones didn't, and had to see if it was permissible to carry in a car, if you could have it on you, if you had to have it separated, you know, rounds and firearm. Had to go through every state. So it is, like I said before, I don't know if it was in another video or just in casual conversation, but I did say that I liked how in the U.S., like, we have all these states, you know, and they have, like, power because, you know, the president could say something, but then, like...
That was when we were having IHOP.
Was that at IHOP? Yeah, the president could say, hey, marijuana is illegal, and Colorado would be like, we're good. We're going to sell it. Don't worry about it. It could be illegal for everybody. Like, I thought it was cool how we all, like, how all the states have certain amount of power and stuff like that. Like stuff could be pushed at a federal level, and then the states are like, nah, right? But then it's also annoying when I have to take a license that's issued by my state and then see if it's valid in other states. And in some states it is, and in some states it's not. Like, I can't go to New York. I can't go to California and have my concealed carry license be... valid there. It's just not gonna happen, you know. But anyways, we've gone so far off topic, man, on this freaking thing. But no, it's just dumb to me, bro. Especially the pistol brace, man, because these people are just like, bruh. I remember seeing who was it, Ben Shapiro? It's probably Ben Shapiro. Maybe it was somebody else. But they were talking about how like most violent crime is done. Most shootings are done with pistols. They're done with handguns, right?
Easily concealable. It's not really anything that you really need that much training for. Just point and shoot. Versus like a M4 or AR, you actually have to know how to work the damn thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I love how they try to say a ban on assault weapons, while most assault weapons are high skill.
They're high skill, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. That's true. Because you could kind of try to like fuck with an AR-15 or something like that, but you gotta know what you're doing if you're gonna be efficient with it. You know what I mean? And to be honest, even with pistols, yeah, you gotta kind of understand a little bit, but it's a lot easier. But the thing that's stupid to me is if most violent crime is committed with pistols, why are you all focusing on rifles, right? Oh, well, it's because of the shootings and this and that. And
because it could scare people the easiest.
Yes.
That's why. That is why.
You know how many times I've taken people to the range?
Because it's big, long, and black. That's why. Okay?
You know how many times I've taken people to the fucking range and they shoot a handgun and they're like, I start them off with like a 9mm. Maybe I'll rent a 22 just to, if they're really nervous, you know what I mean? But by the time we get to the rifle, they shoot the rifle. They're like, yo. They shoot my AR-15. They say, yo, that shit is so much easier. So much. There's less kickback. There's more, what do they call it? A surface area that I can grab onto, right? Like, I can hold it with both hands. I can look down the sight. I'm more accurate with it. There's less recoil. Like, people love to shoot an AR-15. It's so much easier for them, right? Like, yes, they get confused. Like, oh, where's the safety? Oh, how do I make the bolt go forward? They do all this other bullshit.
It's a lot harder to clear a jam out in an AR than it is with a pistol.
Yeah, that's true, right? Like, it's more evolved, right? But people are ending up so much more comfortable shooting AR-15s, right? Yeah. And so, like, I go to the range and people are like, yo, like, I was very intimidated because it's this big gun. It's got this sight on it. It looks all military looking. It looks all crazy. And then they shoot it and they're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. That was cool. That was cool, right? And so, like, literally, you see videos of like kids whose parents take them to the range and they have these little pink ARs and they're like in the shooting competitions and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. So then you come to this freaking pistol brace, man, which is stupid as hell because we all know that making a freaking okay. Here's the deal. For those of you who don't know, if you take a bare bones AR-15. And a bare bones AR-15 is going to have a stock on it, right? It's going to go right here in the shoulder. Now, if that AR-15 has a barrel less than 16 inches, it is a short-barreled rifle, which is illegal to own if you don't register it with the ATF and pay your $200 tax stamp. Now, the problem that people have with registering stuff with the ATF is that you like, let's say you're gonna move from where you live. You have to send them a letter, let them know, hey, I'm moving from here to here, right? You go to the store, you're gonna buy it, you have to register it, you pay $200, you fill out some forms, they run the same background check apparently that they run in any gun store that takes 5 minutes, but for some reason it takes the ATF like 9, 10, 12 months to freaking complete. So that's why people don't want to buy suppressors. That's why people don't want to buy short-barreled rifles. That's why people don't want to do these things, because they take forever, they cost extra money, and they're nothing more than an infringement on your rights. Yes, you can go through all the process and still get the stuff, but if it's taking up all this time and extra money, people see it as an infringement on their rights. So some people like to build AR pistols. Right now, when you build an AR pistol, now they're not going around and saying, "Oh, I'm gonna build an SBR, but slap a freaking pistol brace on it and call it a day." Right? What they're doing is They want this AR pistol. Some people have disabilities. They have some kind of a handicap, right? They can't shoot an AR rifle or an SBR the same way because of their disability or handicap. So, and some people just want to have pistols, right? So what they do is they'll take an AR style weapon. They'll put a pistol brace on it, which helps stabilize it, because when you hold it, obviously there's a lot of weight there. Sometimes you got the blade that kind of rests up against your forearm. Sometimes you have like this claw that goes around your forearm and you strap it with Velcro. There's all kinds of pistol braces that they make. You slap this pistol brace on here. Now remember, it's a pistol, right? So you're not gonna throw a vertical foregrip or anything on this style weapon, right? Because that would make it an SBR, and those are illegal. But you take this pistol brace, you put it on there. Now you can have a barrel that's shorter than 16 inches, right? Because it's a pistol, right? Any handgun, any Glock has a barrel less than 16 inches, right? So it's a barrel less than 16 inches. It's not an SBR. It's a pistol because it's got a pistol brace. Now the ATF wants to say, yo, we think people are using these pistol braces as stocks. We're gonna make them SBRs now. Like, bruh, have you seen the things that people put, the braces that people have? Some people just got a buffer tube with some padding on it. That is not comfortable to shoulder. Some people got a blade, right? Got a blade. It's literally just a buffer tube, and it's like a straight flat piece of plastic like this. This is not comfortable to put in your shoulder. Like, the ATF is saying, oh, people are getting short barrels, slapping a pistol brace on it, but then using it like an SBR. Like, bro, you're fucking stupid. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And even if it was a SBR, like, what about a short barrel makes it more deadly? What about a short barrel makes it more deadly? Nothing. Because you still can't conceal that fucking thing like you would a fucking Glock. You're stupid.
I mean, and it's less accurate.
It's less accurate. It's loud. Like, SBRs have their time and their place, right? I'm not gonna lie. SBRs have their time and their place. They have their benefits, right? Close quarters, in the home, yada, yada, yada. That's fine, right? But the fact of the matter remains is that they're all doing all of this shit in the name of public safety. Right? But here's the thing. A hunting rifle. You can have a hunting rifle with 7.62. But guess what? Nobody cares about those. Right? They care about how it looks. If you have, say for example, an AR-15 chambered in 223 or 5.56, and then you have like a Mossberg MV piece rifle, which looks like a hunting rifle. It's bolt action, has a nice little scope, has little feet that kick out, little bipod, so you can, that doesn't look as scary. Like, Steven Crowder did an experiment one day when he took a bunch of guns, he put them out on the table, and he asked people to sign a petition about which guns that should be banned. People want to ban scary looking guns. They don't care about what caliber it is, what it's used for. Bro, you can't go deer hunting with like a 223, bro. Like, it's not gonna do anything, right? I mean, I'm not a hunter, but you need big rounds for certain animals, right? So some guns have really big rounds. Nobody talks about them because they're for hunting, right? It's stupid. You just look at a gun. You're basic. What do you call it when you're racist against guns, bro? Because they're judging guns based on how they look. That looks tactical as fuck. It's scary. I'm a pussy. I'm scared of that. Let's ban it. Oh, that gun's made out of wood, and it looks like something people would use to hunt. I'm not scared of that. It's fine. I had a gun like that when I was playing Duck Hunt on Nintendo 64.
Hey, do you think that the Dracos look less scary when it's made out of wood?
Well, hold on. I just said some stupid shit, right? There was no Duck Hunt on Nintendo 64, was there?
No.
Okay, cool. The Dracos, okay, so for people not familiar with the Dracos, right? So the Dracos don't have a stock. They're basically, imagine an AK-47, but there's no stock on it, right? And then it has a really short barrel, right? Kind of looks intimidating, though. Right? but they're so not the best weapon for most people. Because of the short barrel, they create a big flash. They're loud. Take up a lot of space. Like, yes, they got the short barrel and no stock and stuff, but like it's kind of like bulk. Like, just get a handgun, bro. You know what I mean? Because you're not gonna be any more accurate with that little short barrel, no stock. You're shooting a bigger round. It's gonna wiggle more.
You might as well get a Desert Eagle.
Yeah, it's like shooting something like a Desert Eagle, right? big recoil. Like it's harder to control. You know what I mean? You gotta have some experience to fuck with that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's like the gangsters that used to shoot like fucking Mac 10s and Uzis and shit. Like those shits were so inaccurate. They were not good. They could spray some shit real quick, but you were lucky if you hit some shit because they were not accurate at all. You know what I mean? So yes, some guns just fucking look scary, but guess what? That doesn't mean they're any more deadly than other guns that don't look as scary. And that's my point. Like, people, they keep talking about ban this, ban that. Part of the reason why we ain't never been invaded, one, our Navy's fucking badass, bruv. You're not getting past our fucking Navy. You're not coming through Canada because, like, these moose would trample you. You know what I mean? Most Canadians live, like, in those big cities. What is it, like 80% of Canadians live in, like...
Toronto and Vancouver?
Vancouver and Quebec and all that. So, like, yeah, there's a little bit of scattered population in Canada, right? But, like, you're not getting past that cold-ass weather. You're not getting past the Mexicans. You're either going to come from the left or the right from the water. And guess what? Navy's got the shit on lock. You're not getting past our Navy, right? But if for some reason you decided it was worth a shot and you somehow landed some people in America, there is a famous Japanese general or some shit. He said you cannot invade the American homeland because there would be a gun behind every blade of grass.
Is that what he said?
Literally.
Oh.
He said there would be a gun behind every blade of grass. Basically, the idea that he's saying is you can't invade America
because everyone has guns.
Everybody's got fucking guns.
There's more guns than people.
There's a gun for every man, woman, and child. In this country, right? And the reality is, if gun owners were such a problem, everybody would be dead already. Everybody would be dead already. If gun owners were really that much of a problem, everybody would be fucking dead already. Right? And we're not. Right? Actually, there was a study that I read where it said that gun owners, what was it? It was like gun owners are like 17 times less likely to commit a felony than like
you know the thing about that is okay, so because remember
it's conceal handgun permit holders. Never mind.
Okay, because remember, here's the deal: everyone that owns a gun legally, they're the law-abiding citizens. Okay, it's the ones off the grid that you really have to worry about. There are a few outliers, the ones that, you know, like they go off the rails, but the ones shooting up Chicago, those aren't the concealed carry owners. And I was going to say something else, more along the lines of. Actually, I completely forgot what I was going to say.
Well, I was looking at this. I was searching for the statistics of the thing that I was just trying to mention. Mm-hmm. And it was a study in Florida and in Texas where they studied concealed carry permit holders and how often they commit felonies. Compared to regular citizens and police officers. Mm-hmm. And actually, police office or regular citizens are obviously more likely to commit felonies than police officers, but police officers are more likely to commit felonies than concealed carry permit holders, at least in Florida and Texas.
Why?
Which is crazy. If you think about it. It's like, so like, literally the people who enforce the laws are the police officers. Yet, concealed carry permit holders, at least in these two states, are less likely to commit a felony than the cops. Right? But people don't want to talk about that.
I don't know about that.
People don't want to talk about it.
I'm a little skeptical of those stats.
I'd be a little skeptical of it also because it sounds like such a crazy ass stat, right? And of course, there's more details to it, right? You got to see maybe what year it was, maybe what data they gathered from where, and of course, they only did it in Texas and in Florida. But really, what it comes down to is people who get concealed carry permits, people who buy guns legally, they go through this process. They may not like it, right? People think it's so easy to get a gun. Like, it is kind of easy, but
for me, it was pretty easy.
There's also a process, right? So if you don't have a concealed carry permit, at least in Texas, you have to go to the store, you pick out a gun, you fill out some paperwork, they run a background check on you. Once the background check comes back and there's nothing on your record, you haven't beat your wife, you haven't gone to jail for a felony, whatever it may be. Shit comes back good, they'll sell you the gun.
I think I have a solution for why that stat regarding officers versus your regular concealed carry person, why the felony rate is more higher for officers. I think the reason why is because, number one, I don't know about for state, but for federal, we don't really have to get a concealed carry license because our credentials is our license to carry, right? So a lot of times, I know a lot of my coworkers, they just don't feel the need to get the concealed carry permit.
Yeah, because you're already a cop, you can already just...
Right? So, you have that, and, I think that, I don't know if they were going, if they were going, per capita, right?
Yeah, that's another thing you got to look at when you do studies is, the percentage, right? Because you're talking about, how many concealed carry permit holders are there in these states? How many cops are there in these states? You got to see, because like I said earlier, you could take whatever statistic and mess with the numbers.
Yeah.
You're not lying, but you can manipulate them to fit your narrative, right? So, but I remember reading that study. It was a few years ago because I was writing a paper for college and I wrote that, and I wrote about that study in that paper. And I remember reading it and it was very surprising to me, and I even did the math. That's why I was 13 times, 12 times. I don't remember exactly what it was because it was a few years ago. But there's a whole lot of factors you can take into account. But the fact remains, right? When you look at this, you're just okay, so concealed carry permit holders, which all of them, damn near all of them, are going to be gun owners, right? Because why would you get a concealed carry permit? Gun owners are among the safest people in these states, right? And they're the ones being criticized just because they own guns. And that is a hill that I am willing to die on, bro. There's not a lot of things I'm super passionate about, right? There's some things I'm passionate about, but there's not so many things in the world that I have such a dead set viewpoint on that I'm I will not change my view, right? And I'm very open to changing my views, right? I've changed my views many times, and I've tweaked them as new evidence comes for various different things. But when it comes to guns, that's why I got this on my chain, right? Like I went to the liquor store the other day. I don't think you were with me. And this girl was like talking about, oh, I like your chain. Oh, that's cool, this and that. I've never seen somebody wear that before. And I was like, you know what? I'm not even sure about my religion, bro. I'm somewhere between a Christian and a Muslim right now. And because she was saying a cross would have been nice too, right? And I was like, yeah, well, I'm not super like sure that I'm a Christian, right? I'm like, I might be a Muslim. I don't know. Like, I'm still trying to figure this thing out, right? And she said, you know what? For sidebar, you know what this chick said? She was like, well, you ain't gotta be a Christian to wear a cross. I was like, bruh, stop playing with me. What?
That doesn't make any sense.
Bro, she said you gotta be a Christian to wear it. No, I was like, no, stop playing with me. Anyways, I said, nah, you know what? I told her, I said, you know what? I've always been into guns. I've always liked guns. I thought about it. I was like, what am I super passionate about? And I was like, well, guns. I always fuck with guns, right? So that's why I got the Glock, and I had bought a Glock, and I had bought an extended a 33 round magazine for the Glock. So that's why I got this. See, can they see it? But anyways, but that is a hill I'm willing to fucking die on, bro. Look, we started this country. The second motherfucking thing they thought about besides freedom of speech was the fucking right to bear arms, right? And as much as everybody fucking hates when people say this, the Second Amendment is not about home defense. It's not about fucking protecting yourself on the street from some burglar. It's not about somebody breaks in your house and tries to steal your fucking PlayStation 5. It's not about any of that shit. Literally, the Second Amendment is about the people fighting an oppressive government. That's what it is about. Right? As much as people want to say it's about fucking self-defense and blah, 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 it's not about that. It's about people fighting off an oppressive government, and that's why they thought that you should be able to have a weapon, because the militia was the people. It was the citizens. They had these little groups, right? There were militias. The fucking shoemaker, the blacksmith, the dude that printed the newspapers, everybody, the farmers, they were the militia, right? That's why they had these fucking muskets, right? That's why they were poorly trained, right? Because they were just regular everyday people. They weren't soldiers, right? And that's why the story of America is so great, because the odds were all against us, right? So the second thing they thought about, besides freedom of speech and freedom of religion and freedom of the press and all this other stuff, it was
guns.
Guns.
It's guns, man.
It was part of the foundation of our country. And as much as we want to say, well, we can change things and this, and yes, we can. We can grow, we can adapt, we can this, we can that. But however, if you want to go so far as to take away one of the core beliefs, such as guns, right, and power to the people and shit, what's to say a few years down the line, a few decades down the line, somebody's not going to come attack free speech?
Bro, they're already attacking free speech. What are you talking about?
Well,
what are you talking about?
Well, yes, I get what you're saying, right? But but people love to say in the Second Amendment community that the Second Amendment protects the First, because you can't have freedom of speech if you can't enforce it, right? So if the government is the only one that has the guns, that the government completely rules over everything. Right, it's a very scary like gray area to go into, right? Because at the end of the day, you're talking about like, well, if the whole reason we have guns is to fight an oppressive government, like that's a scary thing to think about. That one day you might have to fight your own government, or you might have to revolt against your own government, and that seems very treasonous and this and that, and yeah. And I understand that whole viewpoint, right? And some people hold this viewpoint. Some people just like guns for self-defense. Everybody has their own reason why they have guns, right? But the fact remains that I agree with the people that say the Second Amendment protects the First, because it's just like some people in the red pill space. They talk about how feminism is protected by toxically masculine guys, right? Because they say, hey, the U.S. was in Afghanistan, right? We occupied Afghanistan. We built schools for females. We sent girls to school. They went and they learned. The U.S. dipped, right? And then the Taliban took over. And they said, nah, women ain't going to school, right?
Who's there to defend them?
Nah, they're not going to school. We're closing this shit. Right? And all the fucking Afghani nationals, the ANAs or whatever the fuck, sat there and decided, well, do we give a shit about women going to school? Do we actually give a shit about it? Because the Taliban's coming and we're going to have to fight them.
Yeah.
And you know what the fuck they did? They took the uniform off, went back to the market, started selling dates or whatever the fuck they did. Right? So the fact remains that feminism doesn't work if there aren't toxically masculine dudes ready to go blow shit up to defend it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there aren't fucking women that are in like the YPG or whatever over there in Syria and Iraq that are fighting, you know, fucking like terrible people and shit. You know, like, yeah, there are women who join militaries and who fight and who do this. There was just like a female who was a medic who saved a bunch of people after an ambush. Like she was like 18 years old at the time. She did a great fucking job, right? I'm not saying they don't exist, but what I'm saying is that like the whole feminism shit, the reason you can sit there and spew all this garbage is because nobody's gonna come fuck with you. Because there's toxically masculine police officers that are gonna come protect you if anybody comes to do some shit to you, right? Like, and it's the same fucking idea with kind of like with guns, right? It's like the reason you can say shit and have freedom of speech because the government knows, hey, you know what? Like, we can't make you saying this illegal because then all these fucking gun owners are gonna go crazy and then we're gonna have some fucking January 6th event again and that shit's gonna be fucked up. And you know what I mean? Like, it's a balance of power. The government can't forget that they work for the people. And I think we're on a very same page when it comes to both sides of the aisle, because the Democrats, and I'm not talking about the Democratic politicians, I'm talking about the Democratic people. They want to know that the government works for them as citizens. And the conservatives are the same way. They want to know that the government works for them as the people. Like, we're very alike, right? But we get very divided because of this whole fucking shit with the factions and let's separate them. There's whole fucking books on this shit about how the government understands that they need to keep us divided in order to be able to control us. We fight each other so much, we don't notice that they're fucking voting on shit at 3 o'clock in the morning and we don't even know about it because we're too busy having Twitter beef. You know what I mean? Like, anyways, we're talking about guns, bro, but I'm going off on a fucking rant.
Well, what do you guys think? Okay. All right.
You know what I think? I think all gun laws are unconstitutional.
What do you think about Sleepy Joe wanting to take your guns?
I think Joe needs to shoot an AR-15 so he can have some fun and be like, yo, this shit lit. This shit lit, bro. I want one of these fucking things. Hey, yo, Secret Service agent, let me get one of them fucking things, bro. I'm trying to get bang bang on everything. You feel me? Like, I think Sleepy Joe need to get him an AR-15, put it right behind his desk in the Oval Office so he can look fucking badass. Because look, as much as I may like or dislike any president that we have, like, if they're fucking president, they're already fucking president. So I want them to be fucking badass. I want them to intimidate our fucking enemies worldwide. You know what I mean? That one video with Joe Biden was like, it's never been a safe bet to bet against the United States. I don't know why he sounds like a redneck all of a sudden, but that fucking video, holy shit, bro. He looked fucking badass saying that shit. Like, I wish we had more of that fucking Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? Like, he needs to shoot some guns. He needs to follow his footsteps of Bill Clinton. No, fuck Bill Clinton. He came up with the whole assault weapons ban. Never mind. Him and Hillary, you know what? Hillary, you great girl. I love your hair. Don't kill me, please. Yeah, man, you getting me too turned up on these guns, bro. Like, bro, if guns were the problem, bro, look at Mexico, bro. The only people that got guns in Mexico is the military and the cartels. Regular people ain't got no motherfucking guns. That's why a cartel can do whatever the fuck they want. Why? Because I can run up on this motherfucker with his truck and take it from him because I know he ain't got a gun. That shit illegal here. I know he ain't got no. There's no gun store. He ain't got no motherfucking gun. I'll take that shit because I'm the cartel. I got guns. Right? If you're like, bro, it's fine for the police officers and this and that. Like they can, they don't have to worry that citizens got guns and they might get a gun from here or there. But bro, the cartels, they got guns. Mm-hmm. And they're the only ones who got guns, which means they got power. The police got guns and they got some power. And now you got wars between cartels and police and military and stuff like that, and it's a crazy ass situation, and it's right down the street, bro. It's right down the motherfucking street. So I feel safe when I'm in America. Let me ask you a question. And I got guns, but I do not feel safe in Mexico when I'm rolling around out there, and I don't even want to look at some motherfucker the wrong way because dude might be strapped up.
Okay, let me ask you a question. You know what? Maybe this will be a topic for another video, but what do you think Mexico can learn from El Salvador versus how they're dealing with their gang problems?
Oh, El Salvador president is motherfucker the GOAT, bro. Motherfucker the GOAT. Let me tell you. He been criticized a lot, and I'm not gonna say that the criticisms have no weight because they can, right? It's kind of like if you think about it, it's like in the U.S. I know you got a very cold heart, but I'm just kidding. But okay, it's like in the U.S., right? You arrest somebody, the police are still supposed to treat somebody who got arrested with like respect and not abuse them. And
like I'm the most respectful.
Yeah, like you can't.
You could possibly meet.
Like you can't mistreat somebody just because you arrested them, right? So, that's one of the criticisms that people have of the stuff that's going on in El Salvador is that they arrest these guys, they throw them in jail, and then they're like not giving them food or like restricting them to like one meal a day or something. So that's one of the criticism that they're getting worldwide from the international community. But I know that the president of El Salvador, he said that y'all ain't doing anything. He's like, I'm taking care of my country, so y'all take care of yours. Like, don't come over here criticizing. Mm-hmm. Y'all ain't doing nothing over here. So I will say, homie stepped up, and now they're gonna host the next Miss Universe in El Salvador.
That's badass. But the thing about it is, man, it's like, I mean, like, you can't allow people to, like, you can't allow people to run your ship, like, as the elected leader of the country is your job to protect your people.
Yeah.
And the same goes for us here in America. The same goes for the Mexican president. For Cali, New York, Illinois, all these liberal states, Chicago, a liberal city, obviously, right? They're not protecting their people. When the death rate is so high because of black on black violence, gang violence, stray bullets, who are you protecting? Like, and how can you? I'm going on a tangent here, but how can you call yourself a leader? How can you call yourself someone that cares about their people when you're making it easier for these degenerates to make bail and get out from behind bars so they could terrorize the streets even more. These guys are fucking terrorists. Okay. All the gangs, what is it? Bloods, Crips,
Latin
Kings, MS-13, all that. They're all fucking terrorists. Okay. And they should be treated as such. Okay. Once you get one of these motherfuckers, they should never see the light of day ever again. Ever again. Okay, because they don't care about their own people. They don't care about their community. Okay, they're not doing anything to benefit it. At least, the mafia somewhat cares about their community.
Well, see, it's like that podcast we were listening to the other day, where they were talking about that guy was talking about the good cartel and all that. You know how like some cartels have this viewpoint of, this is the community where we operate. We don't trip over the old lady. We don't take her purse. We don't get into shootouts with the police. We throw a party once in a while because these people live in our community. We want them on our side. Because drug trafficking is our job. We're gonna drug traffic, but we're not gonna mess with our community. That's one thing. And then there's the whole, we're just gonna terrorize the neighborhood to show that we're in charge, and this is not my viewpoint or how I understand that these cartels work or whatever. I'm just reiterating something that I heard on the podcast, right? Because when you said the whole thing about the mafia, it reminded me of that, right? It's kind of like gangs, right? Like it's like if you had a gang that was very protective of their community in a good way, but just didn't like the ops in their community. It's a little bit of a different story, I guess, but you have these gangs that fight each other. Just like in Mexico, you have cartels that fight each other, and there's innocent civilians that get stuck in the crossfire, and that hurts everybody, even the people that aren't killed, because you have families that lose family members. You have property values that go down. You have businesses that get destroyed. Just people who live on edge because they never know which day they might be walking down the street and all of a sudden there's a shootout. They get caught in the middle of it. Like I feel for the people who are in those situations, and it's a reality, especially because we live so close to Mexico. You know what I mean? But the president of El Salvador, he's doing a really good thing, I believe, by going on the offensive instead of being defensive and trying to cut a deal with the gangs in his country, or kind of try to just put more police and just be, it's kind of preventative. He's just going after them. He's just, what? We're declaring a state of emergency, which means I can call up our military to do X, Y, Z. We're going after these people. Now all of a sudden you have gang members that are covering up their tattoos with makeup and hiding in holes in the ground because they're scared to get arrested. But he went full force, man. He went full force. He went right after them, started throwing them in jail cells and stuff like that. Now what I'm interested in is what do you like? Did you have the capacity to hold all these inmates in these prisons?
But he doesn't care about the capacity because he's like, yo, if you act up, then I'm just going to cut your food supply.
Well, yeah, I get that, right? But, like, what I'm interested in is if you, like, did you have the prison space for all these people, right? And so, yeah, if you start overcrowding these prisons, okay, I get it. You don't care if they're overcrowded, right? Do you have enough food? I get that you're going to cut their food, but do you even have enough food for one meal a day for these people? Like, what happens when these people are now malnourished and then they start dying off, right? That seems like, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with it. I'm just interested in, like, what would the international response to that be? Like, he arrested a bunch of gang members, threw them all in jail. doesn't have the capacity to keep them alive, and now they start dying, and like, would the world be mad at him because he's essentially killed these people, or would they just not care because they were all gang members and stuff? You know what I mean? That's what I'm interested in. Like we're at this point now where he's got all these people in jail. I'm interested in to see what happens next. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with it. I'm just saying I want to see what happens next.
Like I say that is none of the world's business, because at the end of the day, so they care about whether or not these gang members are dying under his watch, but did they care about the innocent people that were getting killed by the gang members?
Well, yeah, but then you have the whole human rights thing, though.
Well, they didn't care about the people. Like,
so do they forfeit their human rights?
You can't pick and choose. You know, like these people were getting killed in droves. By these gang members.
Yeah.
So where was the international community then?
Well, yeah, that's what the president was saying, right?
So don't worry about what happened to the gang members. Okay, you didn't care about what happened to the innocent people, then you shouldn't give a fuck what happened to the gang members. Mind your business.
Yeah, that because I can foresee like an international uproar.
I don't foresee an international uproar, because
that's if he didn't have the resources to keep all these people in jail.
No, I don't even think that even matters. I think that, okay, what natural resources does El Sal have?
I have no idea.
I don't think they have, like, at least I haven't heard of anything that might pique a world power's interest.
I'm sure they got something.
I'm sure they got something, but not anything crazy, you know.
Well, even if it was something crazy, it all depends. Because I mean, fuck, Venezuela got a fuck ton of oil, and their country's going to shit. Like, how? Hold up, I want to know. Maybe this is a conversation for our next podcast. Yo, how you fuck that up? How do you fuck that up? Yo, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, fucking all these places with mad oil. They rich as fuck. There's a whole community of people in Kuwait that do not even work because they're so rich because of the oil. Just because the government's
Isn't it the type of oil that...
They're like, we make so much money off of oil. Here's some fucking money. Here's $100K.
Wait, but isn't it like a particular type of oil?
Bro.
Like a particular grade?
Bro, gas is so cheap in Venezuela, bro, that if you pulled up with an empty tank and you were like, oh shit, I forgot my wallet, they would probably just fill your tank for you anyway and be like, don't worry about it. It's so cheap. I don't know if it's the oil and the grade and all that. They got mad fucking oil, bro. They got so much oil that their gas is essentially fucking free. It's so cheap. People literally fill their cars up in Venezuela, drive it over to Colombia, siphon that motherfucker out, except for a little bit so they can get back home. And they go back to fucking Venezuela to fill up again. They literally fucking sneak gas across the border in their cars. That's how cheap gas is in Venezuela. Like, how you fuck that up? How you get the world's like number one motherfucking resource and end up poor as shit as a country? How did you fuck that up, bro? Motherfuckers in Kuwait and Saudi laughing at you in their Lamborghinis and shit.
They're not laughing at it.
Bro.
I'm sure there's a reason.
Bro, how you fuck that up?
I'm sure that if we do some research, we can figure it out.
I'm sure, yeah, maybe that's for like the next thing. Maybe I'm just stupid, right? But yeah, man, that just seems so crazy to me. We getting into all sorts of North and South American type things, but I'm just saying, maybe it's the soju hitting. I'm just saying, I'm low key jealous of some countries, bro, because like I've heard people say you can fall asleep with $1 million on your lap in Dubai and nothing will happen to you. Nothing will happen to you. Nobody's gonna steal shit, right? I have seen vlog videos on YouTube with dudes in Korea. And dude goes to the ATM, walks away, forgets he left his drone, his brand new drone in a bag at the ATM, comes back an hour later, it's still there. I never once felt unsafe in South Korea. Maybe I felt a little nervous because I was like, oh shit, it's like 2:30 a.m. I'm drunk and I'm fucking out here in the city and I don't speak the language. I'm like, shit. But I never felt unsafe. I never felt like my life could be in danger. So, and the girls used to tell me, oh, like, it's very safe here. You know, like, I could leave my phone, walk away, come back, it'll still be there. And I was just like, I don't give a fuck. You just mad cute, girl. But anyway, that's a story for another day.
Okay, so, guys.
The soldier's just hitting, bro. I'm just saying, man, fuck these gun laws. Fuck all you motherfuckers who think more gun laws is gonna make fucking shit better.
It's not gonna make
all right?
it better.
Look, freedom is inherently dangerous, my guy, okay? The reason, look, you got freedom to go to the McDonald's drive-thru every single day, get you a number 1 and 2 fucking McRibs for $6 or whatever the fuck. Eat yourself into a fat ass fucking coma, have a heart attack and die. But that is your right. You have the freedom to fucking do that. Guess what? You also got the freedom to eat a motherfucking salad and go to the gym. You got motherfucking freedom. That shit is inherently dangerous. Freedom is dangerous. You want the best fucking country? Guess what? We can give the government all the fucking power to do everything. Guess what? They're going to tell you what to eat. They're going to tell you what time to go work out. They're going to build a motherfucking app on your phone and tell you what time you got to work out and what the workout is. And you got to take pictures or video record everything for verification. We'll create the most fit society. We'll tell you what to watch on TikTok. We'll only allow certain shit on YouTube. We will create the most fit, the most smart, the most capable country there has ever been in the entire history of the motherfucking world. Just give me all your freedom. That shit don't sound good. Do it because you want your motherfucking freedom. You want your motherfucking soy milk lattes at Starbucks. So guess what? Freedom is inherently dangerous. Shut the fuck up. Let's do something else different because every motherfucking shooter looks like a beta fucking male. Every fucking school shooter looks like his body is filled with soy and fucking estrogen. All right? So y'all so mad about toxic masculinity. Guess what? The toxic fucking masculine males, the guys with the beards, chopping down fucking wood and shit, those aren't the guys committing the mass murders. Those aren't the guys committing all the shootings. All these men, these toxic masculine men who have control of their emotions, those are the ones that are not doing the shootings, bro. Do you remember the shooting of that one? I forget his name, but he used to vlog on YouTube all the time. Talk about how women don't pay attention to me and they pay attention to these guys. And these guys are so like, I'm superior than them and I'm smarter than them and I treat these women better, but they don't listen to me and they don't pay attention to me and I'm essentially invisible. And then that motherfucker, what did he do? He went and committed some fucking mass murder, right?
What?
This dude committed some mass murder basically because he couldn't get no pussy. Basically, nobody paid attention to him, right? And I'm not saying that that's the girl's fault or nothing. It's not. It's his own fault, right? It was his own fault, right? But he was this fucking soy boy, and he was mad at the world because nobody responded to him being a fucking soy boy, and then he went and committed this mass murder, right? Like, it's all the dudes, all these fucking dudes that are like, I'm a feminist. No, yeah, my hair is blue. Oh my God, this. Like, bro, those are the dudes you need to be afraid of. Not the dudes that are in the gym working out. Not the dudes that are on the grind hustling. Mm-hmm. No, it's all the fucking soy boys who agree with everything on fucking Twitter and everything on these TikToks and social media platforms. Those are the guys you need to be fucking afraid of. Those are the fucking guys you need to be afraid of.
There's nothing more dangerous than a weak male.
A weak male is fucking dangerous. Fucking Jordan Peterson said it. He said you need to be dangerous. You need to learn how to be ruthless, but you got to learn how to control it. Because being weak is not the same thing as being a good person. Being capable of violence, not doing it makes you a better person than just not being capable of violence. Yeah. It's better to be a fucking warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, right? So all I'm saying is, yo, watch out for these fucking soy boys, because those are the ones who end up fucking doing all these school shootings and all that other bullshit, right? Stop talking about fucking guns. Start getting all these fucking soy boys to do some push-ups in the fucking gym, right? Yeah, I'm fat as fuck. I know one of y'all out there said it already. Y'all probably thinking it right now, but fuck y'all, bro. I can do fucking push-ups and do it on top of fucking dumbbells and shit. I don't give a fuck. I'll fucking outrun any single one of y'all motherfuckers. I don't care who you are. I'll fucking outrun them, bro. They ain't got my fucking willpower, bro. I'll fucking run like I'm Forrest Gump. I don't give a shit, bro.
Okay.
I don't give a shit. You be 3 miles ahead of me, bro. You gonna get tired eventually, and I'm gonna come fucking Still fucking barely going. I'm gonna pass you, motherfucker. You ever heard of the tortoise in hair? Fuck y'all, motherfuckers. Like, man, I'm too drunk, bro. I'm cussing too much, bro. I need to chill. I'm just saying, bro. Watch these soul boys. Watch them. They're dangerous. They're dangerous. All right. All the toxic masculinity dudes. Those are the dudes you ain't gotta worry about. All the dudes that be punching holes in the wall when they get mad. Those are the soul boys. You better watch out for them.
Do you think that the name of our channel should be the Toxic Crusaders?
Toxic Crusade? Nah. Oh, shit. Man, that'd be crazy. But anyways, dude, I don't even know how long I've been ranting at this point. I just been talking shit.
It's been a long time.
We're signing off, but yeah. So y'all take it easy. Like, comment, subscribe, follow. I promise I'm a lot nicer person.
All right, guys. Again, we're going to come up with a name.
We are going to come up with a name.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until then, we're out.
Peace.